While most of us spend Thanksgiving cutting into turkeys and sitting through painful family dinners, UFC contender Geoff Neal was having a different kind of holiday. For those of you who don't know, the beloved UFC star was sitting in a jail cell. Today's video, we'll be talking about how Geoff Neal was arrested for DWI on Thanksgiving and other UFC news. Watch till the end to know what this means for our favorite wrestler's career. What happened? MMA Junkie received Texas police reports recently, according to which the 31-year-old UFC wrestler was arrested on Thanksgiving. According to the documents filed by the Collin County Sheriff's Office, the wrestler was arrested at 3:47 a.m. on November 25th. He was found driving under the influence and was also carrying a weapon. Geoff was immediately taken into custody. The bond was set to $1,000, which wasn't really that big an amount since the UFC welterweight contender was out on the streets at 8:08 p.m. on November 25th. Unfortunately, these are all the details available at the moment. Specifics like whether Neal was breathalyzed or did he resist arrest and refuse the breathalyzer, which is a fairly common practice, remain alluded to. Most people refuse the breathalyzer and opt for the blood test in the hopes that alcohol levels will drop below 0.08. It seems like Neal was thinking along the same lines, as he has rumored to have gotten a blood test done. Some fans out there believe that Neal is, in fact, innocent. They're of the opinion that he might have been pulled over and held by a cop for absolutely no reason. While this seems rather naive, you'll find a lot of people supporting the idea. Neal himself is yet to comment on the situation. What are the charges? Following his arrest, Neal's been charged with a Class B misdemeanor. The charge indicates that his blood alcohol was recorded under 0.15. People facing a Class B misdemeanor will find themselves looking at a potential jail sentence, going up to 180 days. Other than that, few fines also have been paid. Neal was additionally charged with a Class A misdemeanor since he was found to be carrying a firearm upon arrest. Under this charge, Neal's looking at a jail sentence of about 1 year as well as a $4,000 fine. The situation is still developing, and little can be said about whether Neal's actually going to meet his fate. What does Neal's lawyer have to say? Neal's lawyer, Brandon Barnett's been doing a good job of downplaying the entire incident to save Neal's career and reputation. According to him, Neal volunteered for a blood test following the arrest. Brandon believes that the result of these tests will prove that Neal was, in fact, not drunk. With that, the drunk driving charges will be dropped and the illegal firearm charges will follow in line, since Neal holds a legal license to the gun found in his possession at the time of the arrest. Carrying a firearm is only unlawful during a crime, which in this case is drunk driving. Unfortunately, those blood tests will come back somewhere between 6 weeks and 6 months, while the charges will stay during the time Neal's a free man to go about competing in championships. Does the arrest affect his upcoming fight? Before the arrest, Geoff Neal was set to return to UFC 269 on December 11 in a fight against Santiago Ponzinibbio. Neal was expected to finally rebound off the first losing streak of his career. Fortunately, Neal's incident with the law has not endangered his fight with Santiago Ponzinibbio. Fans can rejoice as the much-awaited fight is still on. The news came straight from UFC in an interview with ESPN. A representative from the championship revealed that they're in direct communication with Neal and are in the middle of gathering further details. Neal wins the matchup against his number 14 ranked opponent, he's sure to gain his place back at the top. Given the stakes of the match, it makes sense why fans are eagerly awaiting for the showdown. Neal himself stands at number 12 in UFC's welterweight rankings. The fight's set to take place on December 10 at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and you can bet all of us will be watching. Neal's 2021 at a glance. 2021 for Neal's all been about making a comeback from his break. For those of you who don't know, back in 2020, Neal had to take time off from the ring as he suffered from staphylococcal pneumonia and sepsis. The exact ailment remains a mystery, but we do know that he was hospitalized for a certain time period. As a result, we didn't get to see much of Neal for quite some time. That's also around the time when Neal lost his fight with Stephen Thompson back in December 2020. Wonder Boy was the first ever to defeat Geoff in his UFC career. After that loss, things only went downhill for Neal. He did eventually come back and ended up winning 5 straight fights, which made him the center of a conversation concerning future title contention. However, his streak broke in May at UFC Vegas 26 when he went up against Neil Magny. This is Neal's second loss. Following his back-to-back losses, Neal announced that he'd be taking some time off again to focus on his health. He added that his body hasn't been feeling okay ever since battling sepsis last year. He further revealed to fans that he's been falling sick on and off, was even down a week before his fight with Magny, which is why he ended up losing the fight. Neal's upcoming fight with Santiago is supposed to be his great comeback. Geoff's career at a glance. Geoff's been active in the wrestling scene since 2012. He had the honor of training under the legendary Sarif Saud. His team at the moment is Fortis MMA. With a height of 5'11" and a weight of 170 pounds, the man's got the ideal body for the game. Geoff started off his career in 2010 with a fight against Bobby Hernandez. He also had the chance of competing in Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. You'll be surprised to know that his UFC career took off only recently, with him making his debut in 2018. Over the years, Geoff's gone up against names like Bilal Muhammad at UFC Fight Night and Frank Camacho at UFC 228. These fights show the best of Geoff's skills, which hopefully we'll get to witness once more in the upcoming match. Santiago Ponzinibbio. Speaking of Santiago Ponzinibbio, he also had a few words about Neal's recent arrest. In an interview with MMA Junkie on UFC 269 Media Day, the wrestler revealed that he just sat and waited for someone to tell him the fight was canceled. He was under the impression that he'd be assigned a new opponent. That didn't happen. Santiago said he doesn't really care about Geoff's arrest. To him, it's just another step on his way to the belt. He says his goals remain the same. Doesn't matter who's in the cage, he's going to only smash and win. Clearly, his eyes are set on the prize. Santiago doesn't plan to go easy at all on Geoff following his arrest. He said that he's going to make Geoff feel all the pain in 15 minutes. Santiago realizes that Geoff is coming with a fighting spirit given his 2 losses. He also recognizes that Geoff's a tough and dangerous guy, but he isn't going to let that stop him. In fact, he plans to rain hell on the old champ. Santiago's been doing really well for himself in the ring lately. He's got an 8-1 in 9 of his most recent performances. His recent win was against Miguel Baiza. Santiago plans to win his next one too and head for the belt. This is one man who's got his eyes on the prize. Upcoming UFC matches. While UFC's given us spectacular matches all throughout the year, it seems like the treats will continue for Christmas and New Year, with fights like Cheyenne Buys versus Gloria DePaula and Misha Tate and Marion Reneau gracing our screens. Fans of the championship have been having a blast. One of the most noteworthy of the matches that took place this year was Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier in UFC 264. The fight ended early as Dustin delivered a sickening leg break and cost McGregor his trilogy clash. Cyril Gaines' fight against Derek Lewis at UFC 265 is also worth talking about. Cyril won the match and claimed the interim heavyweight title. As for what's in store for the future, we got Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena and Kai Kara France versus Cody Garbrandt as the same day as Geoff versus Santiago. On December 18, we have Derek Lewis versus Chris Daukaus and Cub Swanson versus Darren Elkins lined up for UFC Fight Night 199 at UFC Apex, Las Vegas. Next up on January 15, we have Bill Algeo versus Joanderson Brito and Sakar Adashev versus Clayton Rodriguez lined up. We also have Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gaines set for January 22nd during UFC 270. And with that, we've reached the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it. What do you think of Neal's misdemeanor? Are you excited about the upcoming match? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel before you go. Tune in next time for more UFC news. Until then, goodbye.